And I know that I didn't really mention as much about what Sherlock Super Coach is. So, briefly, it is a coaching platform that delivers professional coaching that drives employee productivity and growth, enhances retention. I've been a user as well, and it fascinates me, at my age, older millennial, to basically interact with the app and ask questions, answer questions, understand how different quadrants of my brain actually works, how I approach a question this way, but there are also other ways to consider. So with that said, as you know, most organizations would not have half of the resources available at Avanade, that human to human interaction, even one-on-one in person. So if I may ask about engagement, that's something really intriguing to me about how Avanade is really able to engage with employees, frankly, not just Gen Zs and young millennials, but in particular, a lot of companies really struggle to truly engage and retain as well these young employees. What are some of the lessons learned, experiences you might be able to share there?
I think the bit which we do well, I think, or
Mhm,
we're trying to do well, but at least it's a really high priority, is to be based on values, because values stay consistent, and if you're truly being very explicit about your values
mhm,
and people buy into those values and principles, and you're demonstrating that you truly run the company by those values, even when times are tough or when times are good or when business priorities change or they might not change, or
mhm,
people change, leaders change, teams change, management change. But values, generally, if they're good values, they stay consistent and true. And if you can, over time, build a culture where the values are truly the basis and the foundation of a culture, I
mhm,
think then you get really good engagement. And again, what we're trying to do, back to the topic of AI, without sounding like a broken record, but responsible AI is such a wonderful opportunity to embed those values and principles into the solutions and the tools that we're building with AI in a way such that it makes culture programmatic and
mhm,
resilient and almost happen by design every single day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 times a year. So basically, AI
mhm,
becomes an amplifier of
mhm.
good culture. If you have a bad culture and bad values, then AI can be an amplifier of that as well on the negative side, which we don't want. But I do believe, to summarize, values, principles, and then I think what most organizations are not yet doing well enough, in my opinion, is to use responsible AI not as a tax that you need to do because you're going to get hit by regulators or by the audit committee or because of risk, but then actually to use it as an amplifier of good culture and good values.
I love that. Gonzalo, anything from you?
Yeah, I think Avanade is different to other companies that I work with as clients or partners in that the culture is warm. I don't know if that applies to every single team within Avanade, but it certainly does to the teams that I've worked with in Avanade. And it's night and day the difference with some other organizations, especially in consulting, which can be a bit up or out.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
you feel protected and you feel like the company actually cares about you, and it's not just words on a values intranet.
mhm,
It's actually, it bleeds through down to the way that you are treated as an employee. And I the reason I am engaged with what Avanade puts in front of me is because I feel like there's a common goal here. What's good for the company is good for me. um, and my managers and their managers and all the way up, um, are all one consistent sort of caring entity.
mhm. Mm, that's so lovely to hear. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find it helpful. We'll soon be back with our next podcast. In the meantime, please share this episode with your friends and colleagues.